If, let's go back a bit here. The Metale incident, the official report says 23 soldiers were killed, but the reports are they have it that there are more than 23 soldiers that were killed there. Is it 23 or 29 or thereabout? Tell us again, how many soldiers were there and how many were killed and how many injured?
We told you fortnights ago that we lost 23 gallant soldiers. May their soul rest in peace. And 31 of them, of that unit, sustained various degrees of injuries, and they are being treated in our medical facility. And for anybody to tell you anything else, honestly, you have to ask the person where he comes about that figure.
There is this other part of this conversation that a lot of people are wondering. You know, sometimes we hear that the military released some suspected Boko Haram insurgents back after they had gone through investigation and screening, and then they are released to go back to their homes. In that interview that soldier granted, he talked about some of those people that had been released, that they were part of the attack. How true can that be?
I think you should have asked him how true can that be, because he sat down and, you know, identified those people that came into the unit to attack him. And, you know, whenever people come with stories like that, you equally have to ask them critical questions. But to the best of my knowledge, we have what we call Operation Safe Corridor, which is being handled by the Defense Headquarters. And it's an elaborate program involving other stakeholders, experts, you know, religious bodies and the rest. And those who voluntarily, you know, left the Boko Haram terrorist group are being catered for through a program, a training program, rehabilitation and integration. Beyond that, we don't have that. But during the course of investigation by the Joint Investigation Board at the theater, you know, there are people that were arbitrarily arrested or victims of circumstances. When the investigation did not find any credible evidence against them, definitely you cannot, you know, continue to detain them like that when you don't have any evidence. And it is always better
categorically
to, you know, to allow maybe a criminal to go scot-free than punishing an innocent person.
General,
that is
are you saying categorically, General, that
there is no such things?
If I may come in here, General, are you saying categorically that there is no chance of any of those people that were released helping the insurgents to come back and attack?
Unfortunately, you are cutting up. I am not hearing you.
I'll ask the question again. Are you saying emphatically that there is no chance that one of those people that were released could come back and help the insurgents in their attack?
Well, you cannot be emphatic in the sense that people, you know, aid and abet these terrorists. That is why the problem lingers this while. There seems to be a kind of conspiracy of silence among some components, groups of the Nigerian society. So you cannot be emphatic. But the truth is that for anybody to say deliberately, to say that deliberately the military released people to go and fight for the Boko Haram terrorists, I think that person is not being sincere at all.
Well, let's talk about that Metale attack again. It appears after that the insurgents got emboldened because we have reports of attacks, intermittent attacks after that Metale attack, almost on a daily basis. How is it that the insurgents now feel like they have what it takes to keep the army on their feet and all?
I don't think, neither do I speak for the insurgents, but I speak for the Nigerian army. And to the best of my ability, to the best of my knowledge, you have to look at each of those attacks in the context under which they occur. And if you say on the daily basis, was there any attack yesterday? The answer is no. The situation is that, yes, people, based on the kind of information they passed around, it tends to give the insurgents kind of, what do I call it? Something that makes them to feel on top of the situation, which actually it is not true. And of course, they tend to downplay the sacrifices and the efforts of the Nigerian military to the point that, you know, it looks like as if nothing is being done. And the truth is that every attack that occurred, the military always do their best to ensure that it is repelled and pursue the insurgents to the point of decimating most of those attackers. And as you can see, the situation has started coming back to normal in the sense that, you know, the military is strategizing, and we have identified the problems and, you know, the weak areas, and these areas are being addressed. So all we need now is support and continuous cooperation of the members of the public so that the military will solve this problem once and for all.
Would you say that we're winning this war against insurgents?
There is no doubt about that fact.
No doubt. So Nigerians should be encouraged to stand firm.
Exactly. We need all the support we can get from the Nigerian public. We need all the cooperation. And remember, the fight against terrorism and insurgency in this country is not for the Nigerian army, neither is it for the Nigerian military alone. It is the collective responsibility of all Nigerians. Let us put our hands together so that we can be able to solve this problem. So we need your support, we need your cooperation, we need your prayers also.
General, there's this report coming in from the International Criminal Court accusing the Nigerian army of war crimes. Have you come across it?
Yeah. Yeah, I have seen it in one of the papers this morning. And thankfully, I just sent a WhatsApp message to one of Nigerians there at The Hague. And honestly, I wish my phone is here. You would have seen his reply. I think there is some element of campaign of calumny and mischief. The International Criminal Court, in its preliminary report, did not say so. And in fact, what they said, there were issues of interest in Nigeria. But for them to have come out to indict the Nigerian army, it is not true.